Have you ever gotten unwanted attention that made you feel uncomfortable? Was it harassment? Google states that harassment is aggressive pressure or intimidation. There's many different kinds of harassment. There's probably more kinds of harassment that we can count on our fingers. But three of them are verbal, visual, and physical harassment. Verbal harassment is when you're hearing things that you don't want to hear. They're verbally abusing you. They're verbally telling you like this, and you don't want to hear it. It makes you uncomfortable, and that's what harassment is based around. Harassment is uncomfortable feelings that you don't want. Then we have visual harassment when you're seeing things that you don't want to see. Let's say that you go out in public and this random girl flashes her chest at you. You don't want to see that. You don't know this girl. But if you did want to see it, it's not harassment. And I think that's what's so fascinating about harassment is because it depends on the individual who's getting harassed. If they're fine with it, it's not harassment. If they're not fine with it, it is. It is. Then lastly, we have physical. Physical harassment is getting touched, like they're putting their hands on you and you don't like it. That's physical harassment. But what makes harassment sexual? So sexual harassment is RAINN.org states that sexual harassment includes unwelcome advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal physical harassment of sexual nature in the workplace or learning environment. So let's say that you're at school. We're college students. Let's say that you're at school, it's summer, and this one teacher compliments you on your body, and she continues to do it, and then one day she slightly rubs your shoulder. That can be the start of sexual harassment right there. You always want to try and put an end to sexual harassment before you can. If one of your teachers are doing something that you're not comfortable with, report it. If you're at a workplace and like one of your coworkers is making you feel uncomfortable, report it. So the goal, I would say, is to stop sexual harassment before it turns into sexual violence. Not all sexual harassment cases turns into sexual violence. Some of them stop then and there. Others take it a step further. CDC.gov states that 1 in 3 men have experienced sexual violence in his lifetime. Over half of women have experienced sexual violence in her lifetime. That tells us that women get harassed more than men do, but it can still happen to men. Sometimes people get stuck in the moment, they get scared, especially when it comes to not knowing what to do. Some people do not know what to do in those positions. It's wrong. Any kind of harassment that you're really fed up with is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong because it makes you uncomfortable. Imagine harassment already making you uncomfortable, and then you have sexual harassment. That can make you 10 times even more uncomfortable because harassment comes from a place of uncomfortableness, whether you want it or you don't want it. Thanks for listening.